let's just dive into it here, shall we? We got some Eldrazi Stompy here. So something I've often said about Legacy is that there's 3 types of decks, generally speaking, in Legacy that tend to be competitive. There's the Brainstorm, Force of Will decks. There's the Chalice of the Void, plus Ancient Tomb decks that look to play Chalice of the Void ahead of curve. And then there's the kind of getcha decks like Charbelcher or Tess or stuff like that. Decks that are trying to combo kill exceedingly quickly. So this deck is notably looking past Chalice of the Void to leverage the card Once Upon a Time as a way to add a little bit of consistency to the archetype. So Once Upon a Time can help us find extra creature for missing creatures. It can help us find our Ancient Tombs and our City of Traitors if we're light on mana. One thing worth noting in this particular configuration is we cannot cast Once Upon a Time with our mana base. However, we can exile Simian Spirit Guides to allow us to cast it in the mid-game if we don't have it in our opener. Our win conditions here are just Matter Reshaper, Eldrazi Mimic, Thought-Knot Seer, Smasher, and Endless One. So let's go ahead and pop on into a constructed league here with this one and see how it goes. He says before he realizes, oh, I have play points. Whew! I thought I'm out of tickets. I have the play points though. We're good. I think I have to buy more Moto tickets here in a hot second. Marty Punker with the 48-month resubscription. I appreciate that. Thank you for the 4 entire years of support. That's a long time. Thanks for keeping me around. Danny, thanks for checking in for the 16th month. Welcome back. I would love to play first. Thank you for asking, Magic Online. Thanks for the 10 months, CD Sniper. Welcome back. Easy mulligan here with no second mana source. Ideally, we're looking for a way to play the Chalice of the Void ahead of curve. Yeah, I guess I'm keeping this. We're gonna bottom the... Do I bottom the Spirit Guide or a land? I think I just bottom the Spirit Guide. I think I'm going to bottom the Spirit Guide. Okay, just lead on Eldrazi Temple here. So hoping that our opponent's playing something fair here. If they are a linear deck, we don't really have any interaction lined up at the moment. Preordain could go either way. It could be like Sneak and Show getting set up. Could also be a Delver or Young Pyromancer variation. Hey, thanks for keeping me around, Clamster. Hope you're staying safe out there. Now, do I Matter Reshaper or do I Chalice? I think I just Chalice since I drew that. Regardless of which of the 2 archetypes we just talked about they could be, they almost assuredly have more cantrips in their deck. So Chalice the Void counters any spells that cost 1 that get cast. Something that we're going to be talking about over the course of the next week too is the Open over the weekend was a pretty strong success. I was really happy with what we put together overall. You'll be able to you're gonna see those events consistently here on the channel. The next Open Series event here in Hooglandia is going to be on April 25th. Cappy, thanks for the 24 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, we have our champion emote. Napster has their face on an emote in chat until we have our next Open Series event. Looks like we're gonna die here. You know, welcome to Thunderdome. Enjoy your stay. Yep, so opponent's going to get to make a bunch of mana and cast Ad Nauseam here, so statistically we are dead. Had I known this was the Storm matchup, Chalice on 0 would have been much better here, but we couldn't have known that. Preordain is somewhat indicative, but it's not a guarantee. So obviously, if we know what we're playing against, we'd put Chalice in 0. Sean Bruno, thanks for the 20 months. Welcome back. I have to say, I know I've said this before, but it bears repeating. The single best thing about Magic Arena, and there are a lot of good things about Magic Arena, but the single number one best thing about Magic Arena is that it is completely divorced from all MTG finance. This secret layer, like, it's been a while since anything finance related has like come across to me, but this whole secret layer thing has like just reminded me how both incredibly stupid, naive, and unrealistic many people that engage in MTG finance are. Just like the huge negative detriment of the game in general. Just very, very clearly divorced from reality, don't understand very basic market things like... Alright, looks like we're dead here. They'll go ahead and they'll cast Cabal Ritual, and then they'll cast Infernal Tutor, and then they'll call Potentials of Agony here. So we'll board in Leyline, and Warping Wail, and Thorn of Amethyst. You don't want Sorcerous Spyglass in a matchup like this. Oh, actually, do I? If they're on Wishclaw Talisman now, do I? Do I expect them to have many Wishclaws? They're still playing Infernal Tutor. Do we think Wishclaw is the 5th Infernal Tutor, or do we think Infernal Tutor is the 5th Wishclaw? Little man, thanks for 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So, Dismember here is awful. Walking Ballista is slow. I'd probably rather have Endless One than Matter Reshaper. No, that's not guaranteed to be the case, Yoshi. I haven't really looked at Ant list, which just looks like they're playing Ant as Ad Nauseam Tendrils. The test deck plays 4 Wishclaw. LED's just super busted regardless. You play 4 Wishclaw, no other tutors, and I don't know. We'll find out. I think this is fine. Not bringing this in is fine. I don't really know that I have 2 more cuts that I want to cut anyways. Thanks for 17 months, MB. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Sure. Alright, Chalice for 0. Jackal Pup, go. Ha ha! Joke's on you. I don't got thoughts to seize. Get out of here. Look at that. Look at that sick card advantage of my colorless deck, chat. You know you love it. Do. You love to see it, chat. Oh, I totally do have Arena up in the background. Good call. Let's fix that. Thanks. I don't have my headphones on because Moto doesn't have sounds that you want to listen to anyways. So I appreciate the heads up there. Thanks, Shuki. Yeah, I'm really happy with how the open went. Yeah, carefully putting all the spells on top of my deck was definitely the heads up play. Yeah, I had super low expectations for the open event this weekend. I was kind of expecting every round. I was kind of expecting every round to go like round 4. Round 4 was a complete technical disaster. But once we sort our issues with that round, the rounds 5 plus that we have in the coverage archive went really, really well. We're playing against Storm, which has things like Lotus Petal and Lion's Eye Diamond that you want to Chalice for 0. Cardias thinks the 22 months. In fact, we played Chalice for 1 in game 1 and then promptly died to triple Lion's Eye Diamond. Yeah, switching to the desktop Discord client seemed like it resolved most of the issues. Thanks, Erdian. Yeah, it went sweet. Be something neat to figure out. Something I might do is, if these are going to be something we do, every month, I might look into creating some kind of point system for the events, and like do some kind of culminating tournament at the end of the year that you have to qualify for. Could be fun. Wizards is 100% responsible for the secondary market. Anybody thinking Wizards isn't responsible for the secondary market is at best an idiot. Alright, so I just get Thought-Knot Seer here, right? I think that's the play. It's like they got a card, so I just take their card away, plus I have a thing now. Huh? If I take the Infernal Tutor, their hand just doesn't do anything, right? Right? Oh, they have Claw in play. Yeah, that's true. Did I just take the recall then? Probably just take the recall then. We have them on a relatively quick clock, right? I skimmed the April state of the game. Was there anything relevant in the April state of the game other than player drafting coming? There wasn't, right? Feel free to fill me in if I'm missing something, but as a constructed player, there really wasn't anything of note in there, right? Sure, we knew there was a new anthology coming in May, though, right? Should be towards the end of May, about 6 weeks after. I actually thought the new card layouts looked a little bit cluttered, but maybe that's just me. For people that don't understand, I see some folks talking about the secret layer thing in chat. I tweeted this yesterday, and I'm honestly surprised that people don't understand this. The reason why things like secret layer are expensive is because Wizards of the Coast, or someone at Wizards of the Coast, people that are making decisions regarding product pricing at Wizards of the Coast, have determined at some point that it is more profitable for Wizards of the Coast in general to make sure that fetch lands, legacy, modern, non-rotating formats in general are expensive and inaccessible. There are people who have determined that those things being expensive and inaccessible is more profitable for Wizards of the Coast. Do I sacrifice a land and bounce the Wishclaw Talisman? Probably not, because it lets them bounce the Chalice. Hey, thanks, Brad. Could be dead here. So they're emptying their hands here. So they have Infernal Tutor, Past in Flames, and then one card I don't know. Yeah, the event went better than I was expecting, Brad. I was kind of expecting all of it to be a mess of technical issues. Ended up going relatively smoothly. I was actually shout out to the Hooglandia subs, by the way. I was actually really surprised at how little cat herding I had to do. Like over the course of 11 matches with me selecting 3 feature matches per round, 6 players, I had 1 player in 11 rounds that didn't show up to the feature match area when I needed them to show up. Which I think I just was pleasantly surprised by that. Was really expecting there to be more chasing down Magic the Gathering players than I did. Any big takeaways for the next one? Yeah, we'll have Discord work from the start. MTG Melee may or may not have some of the features we need added by then to make our coverage a little bit better. The one big takeaway is one of the issues I had with picking feature matches was I didn't have the easy way. Some people use different usernames everywhere, and the display name on MTG Melee for some players was different than the display name people had in the Discord server. So that made it difficult to locate some people for feature matches. There were some translation issues there, basically. So that'll all, hopefully, next time, Christie's going to, 1, track down people at the start to figure out who's who, and 2, we're going to hopefully encourage people to have those names match for next time. The MTGA username actually doesn't really matter. I don't care what your MTGA username was. I mean, from a small Unity standpoint, everyone should be the same everywhere, ideally, but for picking coverage things at least, I just need people's display name on MTG Melee to match what their display name in the Discord server is. Because at a glance, I'm just scrolling the Melee page and then trying to tag people that I want from there in Discord. Well, your Arena account is connected to Melee for purposes of challenging your opponent each round, but I don't care what your Arena name is for purposes of how you're challenging people. Do I mulligan this? I think I do. I think I can look for a Leyline of the Void here that I have in my opener. They have a lot of discard spells in their deck, like Thought Season, Duress, and I only have 1 piece of hate here, so I think I'm going to try and play Catch and Release here. Yeah, this hand's excellent. So we'll get to keep this. We'll bottom... I think we bottom Reality Smasher here, actually. So we get to put this into play, and then I can play a Jackal Pup on turn 1 again to start pressuring their life total. For people that are interested in playing in the next Soglandy Open, it's definitely going to be April 25th. It's like a week and a half from now. I know it's a little bit soon, but I want to do a standard one shortly after the set release. And moving forward, they won't be this quickly on top of each other. Matt Maxon, thank you for the 20 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. My plan is to do approximately every 3 to 4 weeks we're going to do an event. I think as far as formats go, my plan is to do a standard one immediately following a set release, and then the 2 after that will be historic. So formatting for the opens are going to be one standard, 2 historic, 1 standard, 2 historic. And then, you know, maybe at some point in the future when Arena supports Pioneer, we could explore that format, depending on what it looks like and how much we're enjoying it. But for the time being, I think standard, double historic is probably going to be the lineup. Moving forward, I have the next open command here. I don't have a sign up for it at MTG Mail yet. Christy wanted to work out some verbiage on the actual event page. So the event page for subs to join will be up tomorrow. Any thoughts on... Do we donate to get Matt a pair of pants with holes? He paid extra for the pants with holes on them, I believe. Any thoughts on capping these? Actually, this last one I had was capped, Brad. So I had a 256 player cap on the first one, and we fell shy of hitting that one. 11 rounds goes up to 256 players, and honestly, we did 11 rounds in like I think it was under 10 hours live, and we might not always hit that, but like I'm pretty sure we can probably do 11 rounds in under 11 hours. So I think a 256 player cap makes a lot of sense. Are you planning to keep doing Saturdays, or will you swap? Well, considering the first one was on a Sunday and the second one's on a Saturday, the what exact day they're going to be on isn't going to be necessarily guaranteed. 11 being 8 Swiss. So we ran this first one as double elimination, and I think I'm going to continue to do that. I really prefer the double elimination format. I really prefer the double elimination format to people screwing with tiebreakers and intentional draws and stuff like that. What deck dumps on Cat Oven? I have no idea. Standard's about to change. I'm not thinking about standard without new cards in it. How much do you figure it costs to get full mythics and rares of a set? I don't know what it costs to get full mythics. It's probably somewhere in the range of 250 to 300 packs. I, generally speaking, get 200 packs of each set. 200 packs gets you every common, uncommon, and rare, and usually it gets you all the playable mythics. I understand why paper tournaments aren't double elimination. In a paper tournament, you're generally there at the event all day, and people who paid an entry fee should get to play a bunch of matches and spend a day playing Magic. For a digital tournament like what we're doing, being able to know deterministically that you're done after a certain record is nice. I've definitely been on the feel bads part of the, well, I'm 5-2, but everybody I lost to is doing well. I might have good tiebreakers. I should play out the rest of these matches for the outside shot that I'm one of the X2s, the top 8s. Like that whole experience I think isn't super pleasant. Was very, very happy with the actual Swiss double elimination structure that we used on Sunday. Wow, they have 3 basics in their deck. What are some changes we would do for next time? From a lot of the changes I think we would do for next time are on like a logistical back-end perspective. More than anything else. Sans the Discord technical issues, I was pretty happy with how our coverage went overall. I think the one thing we need to do that was coverage related was we used Google Hangouts for Matt's microphone and video, and we're gonna have to change to a different service for that. Matt actually has the exact same microphone I do, and his audio quality was much worse, in large part because we were capturing him over Google Hangouts. So we're gonna have to finagle either a third instance of Discord for that, or we'll have to test Skype or Zoom or something and try and get his audio quality leveled up a little bit for the next event. Having another person to help do production stuff could be ideal at some point too. Like, I was doing stuff that caused more downtime on the actual stream that ideally wouldn't happen, but having a producer added into the mix will be technically difficult to do as long as social distancing has to be happening. Just because having a producer do some of the things that, like, ideally we would have, like, David, once, 4 or 5 months from now or whatever, when we're past all the social distancing stuff, having another person to, like, pull up card images and manage OBS and stuff like that so I can just focus on, like, picking feature matches and, like, entertaining, that would be ideal. What do we take here? Do you think they have 2 copies of Tendrils? It's a good question. It's a good question. Probably not. It's probably just the Tendrils. I'm gonna take the Tendrils. Long-time viewer, first-time sub. I'm trying to connect your Discord server. After I connect the two, do I have to wait for someone to accept me on the server? You do not, Alex. However, if you did just subscribe today, there's a little bit of a delay because the Discord server has to manually. It syncs every couple hours. So if you just subbed and the server hasn't sunk yet, you're not going to be able to see it and get into it. I think one of the big things you had over CSP coverage is you didn't cut ad breaks into the middle of the present. Is that a real thing? That can't be a real thing, right? Okay. So what are we tutoring for here? Are we gonna get emptied? We could get emptied here. Yep. So maybe we're just supposed to take the tutor there? Very, very possible. I think we're probably dead here. So, transparency for transparency's sake, because there wasn't an NDA on the Reebok deal. The Reebok deal is actually just a product sponsorship. They didn't actually send me dollars. They just sent me shoes. And it's a short-term sponsorship because of that. Their stuff's only going to be up there for a week or so. and then I'll be pulling it off. Bigger sponsorships have less leverage. Free shoes for banner placement is something I was willing to take. Yeah, so if someone buys something through the link, they gift a sub to my channel, so I do get a small amount of revenue for that. So if we peel Reality Smasher, they're dead. That doesn't do it, right? Yeah, they're good. They're good pair of shoes. I haven't worn shoes in about 5 weeks. Getting groceries delivered. If I send you some used shoes that are not in your size, I can get a banner. That is not how that works. It's not, in fact, not how that works. Yep. Sure. I've had to mow 3 times in the past 2 weeks. It's one of those I realize I'm getting old moments, but I was as excited because we got a new lawnmower. Decided to pull the trigger on the electric lawnmower. So we're gonna have to give that a try this week. I'm more excited to get like extra gas cans out of my garage and like not have gas cans sitting around than a gas mower. It is actually a Cobalt, yeah. I was using a push mower till now. No, no. I was using a gas mower that had, it had a self-propelled, but it ran on gas instead of a battery. Get some. Why would I need extra blades? It went dull after 1 season. We'll see if that happens. From my understanding, the one we got is a new model, so you could also sharpen them, right? Well, poop. Yeah, I got an electric weed whacker last summer, and it was quite excellent. So I think I'm gonna have Christy post on one of the local Facebook groups. Anybody wants a free gas mower, let me know and I'll leave it on the curb for you to come pick up. The mower that we got also has a snowblower component that takes the same size battery. So if this mower is reasonable, we're probably going to pick up the snowblower. My gas mower was jacked up and didn't want to start this past winter, so I'm just going to get rid of that too and replace it with electric, just not deal with gas components. How old is the mower? I have no idea. We bought it used. It's functional. It works. I used it for the first cut this summer. Oh yeah, at the end of the stream today, we're gonna do a sponsored segment for an indie platformer game called Dune Sea, where you fly around as a goose. It's amusing. Declan and I let Declan make the call. I was playing it and I thought it was amusing, and I was like, I think Declan would like this game. If Declan likes it, we'll take the sponsored segment and play it together. So Declan's gonna come down and we're gonna honk some geese together and fly around at the end of the stream today. Don't daze me, bro. Feels bad, man. I believe we have died, chat. I believe we have died. Warping Wail and Ratchet Bomb sound good here as ways to kill their threat early. Chalice sounds fine. I think I'm gonna trim. Would I rather trim Eldrazi Mimic or Endless One here? What do we think? I feel like it's one of these two. You want to trim once? I guess that makes sense. This card's a lot worse when you can't cast it for mana and the games are going to go long. So you can find not even just the top list, but 100% of the deck lists that were entered in the tournament were a data-friendly stream. Linked in the coverage archive on my website there. At some point, I'm going to do something a little bit more formal than that when I figure out exactly what I want to do. But for now, just a YouTube playlist and a link to the Melee page is a good start. So, opponent, Force of Willing, or Chalice the Void. Maybe a little mistake here on their part. They Force of Willed instead of Force of Negation, and Negation wouldn't have cost them life, right? So they could have Force of Negation, pitching Force of Will. Remember that even after the ranked ends on Arena, you're going to be able to still play Historic via... You're still going to be able to play Historic via 1,000 gold entry fee constructed events. Yeah, what does that have to do with anything though, Juice Master? Yeah, the constructed events are best of 3. I'm so confused by what you're saying, Juice Master. They literally Force of Negated, pitching Force of Will, so they could have just done the inverse of this and saved themselves a thing. No, the Historic ladder leaves every time a new set releases to encourage people to play new set stuff, new set standard. I did see a resub Durka Durka, but if you need a little bit of extra attention, I got a 10-minute for you. What format would I recommend to jump back into play? Historic's my current favorite format for sure. Standard's about to get a facelift, but you know, Standard being exciting usually has a shelf life for me personally. Historic combines two of my favorite things in Magic, non-rotating formats and an excellent Magic the Gathering client. I think we're dead at this point, right? Like, I just, can't use my lands anymore. Meet the balls. Welcome back. Are subscriptions not showing up in my recent events here? Weird. My Streamlabs. My Streamlabs must be foobarred at the moment. Yeah. The fact that Historic gets fresh cards dumped into it every 6 weeks at a minimum is a big deal. Well, I get to play this, and I get to play this, and then I hope they never draw a land and we kill them with 6 points of damage here. Historic Ranked leaves with every new set release and comes back with the next Historic Anthology release. So Historic Ranked will return towards the end of May, most likely, when the 3rd Historic Anthology releases. Alright, so you just need one more brick out of them to get a game 3 here. Yay! We did it! We did it! We did it! Hooray! Like Legacy is a silly place. Why do they take Ranked Historic away? Because they want to push players towards playing Standard. That's the truth. Whether or not you agree with that decision or think it's a good idea, that's why they do it. I mean, you can still play Historic on demand. If you're bad at Magic, it's going to cost you a little bit of money to play Historic on demand. But it is good to know that the level at which you need to succeed in the Historic events is fairly minimal to be breaking even or turning a profit. If you go 2-2 in the Historic constructed events, you make a profit. Hey, Geodude, thanks for 13 months. Welcome back. So we'll continue to play Historic on this channel even after the ladder goes away, just like last season. We continued to play it there. Continued to play it then, we'll continue to play it this time. The cost, if you're doing worse than 2-2, is fairly minimal. Especially compared to Magic Online. If you only get 2 wins in a Magic Online league, you lose $5. Just for comparison's sake. So all things raked considered, what I've been conditioned to accept as okay on Magic Online is still night and day worse than what the Historic events are. Yeah, part of the problem, though, is, Gerd, like, as Historic grows, while right now it might make you buy packs, at a certain point you'll have your deck set up, and then you won't need to buy packs anymore. And they know that. That's true, too. You still collect daily things as well. So, like, if you're doing your dailies in Arena, every other day you get enough gold to get to play a Historic event. As always, questions for Will Jeff Play X should be answered by submitting using the form on the website. I don't say yes or no to people just asking me, hey, will you play Archetype X in chat? The purpose of the form is literally so I can vet things off stream without making impulse decisions. 1K gold. 1,000 gold is what it costs to play a historic constructed event, not 10,000. Yeah, there was some big historic challenge thing that was intended to steal gold from people before the new set releases. That's not the normal historic constructed event that exists all the time. If you are someone that does not have wild cards to spare to craft those cards, the historic bundle is a good cash to product value compared to buying booster packs. I don't verbally acknowledge all of the deck point bumps, Nanich, that are used via shillings, because shillings don't actually give me money. I have an archive of them after the stream, though. This deck's not felt particularly impressive so far. This is the type of deck where when this deck, regardless of whether or not this deck wins or loses, it tends to not feel particularly impressive, in large part due to the fact that, like, regardless of if this deck wins or loses, regardless of if this deck wins or loses, the games tend to not be very interesting. A lot of the time, if this deck is winning, it's because the opponent gets locked out. And if it's losing, it's because our game plan just didn't accomplish much. Where is Chalice? I mean, Chalice is good against a variety of the Brainstorm decks in the format. It's just like, sometimes you have the Chalice, and they have their Force of Will, and then, like, your deck just doesn't have a lot else going on. Yeah, it's very similar to... I don't even know if Tron's a fair comparison. So, like, it's playing big idiots in a similar way to Tron, but the thing that's actually powerful about this deck is the prison aspect to it. I feel like, on average, this archetype's probably worse than the Blood Moon decks, but I don't play enough Legacy to know that for sure. I feel like if I was doing the prison thing, I'd rather have Chalice and Bridge and Blood Moon all together, rather than just Chalice. Yeah, this deck, generally speaking, only has good matchups when Chalice the Void is good. That is an apt summary, I think. So we can lead on Temple here and dismember something on 2, and then we can or on 1, and we can Reality Smash or something on R2. Yeah, I think that's an apt comparison, like, Luke. I think 12 post in Legacy is more comparable to Tron than this archetype is. I agree with that. Game 1 Meddling Mage, eh? Which member? Hey, The Real Heavy Z, thanks for the brand new Tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. Force of Will, pitching Soul Herder. All right. Okay. Driving in my Smasher, beep beep. Hope no one wrecks into me. Thank you for the 3/4 of a year, Phantom. I appreciate that. Welcome back. You've piqued my interest, opponent. Soul Herder here. Gonna blink things in and out. Maybe I'm supposed to do this on my turn. I don't know. They can't spell pierce me because of the Chalice. It probably doesn't matter. It is Lurking Blades just Skyless today. Is in fact. As always, deck list for upcoming things that we're going to be playing later today can be found in the deck queue on the website. That's true. Waiting to Dismember means they can't force a negation for free. Brazen Borrower. Yep. This matchup again seems challenging. I feel like the games where my Chalice of the Void isn't very good, my deck's not very good. Or the games where my Chalice of the Void doesn't happen, my deck's not very good. We side out Chalice here? Sure. Pretty sure we just trade. So, if they bounce my Reality Smasher, they have to discard a card to do that, then I get to redeploy it at least. Oh, they have Swords to Plowshares. Rough. So they have to discard a card here, and I gain a little bit of life, but I basically don't have anything left at this point, huh? I guess at some point I'm going to get to activate Eye of Ugin. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but we might be dead to these two before that's relevant. Need the draw threat here. This cannot make 2 mana for Eye of Ugin, unfortunately. So like I go to 6, and then if I activate this next turn, I go to 4, but then I'm just dead to these. I think that's gonna be too little, too late. Oh, right. I don't need the extra mana. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Sure. You can always see our current amount of uptime with the uptime command in chat. I guess we cut do I cut Chalice? Like they have Ephemerate and they have Ephemerate and they have Swords to Plowshares and they have Brainstorm. I think I keep the Chalice. Like it's not like a lockout card, but I think it's playable here. I think I'm gonna trade 2 once for 2 Warping Wail and call it a day. You think Ratchet Bomb is good? Really? That's so slow. Alright, we have a curve here. I get to bottom Elvish Mystic and go 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. Our deck just feels so tame and dry for Legacy. Like, there's so many sweet things you could pop off with in this format, and it's like, well, I've got 2 ones for 2. Thanks for the 11 months, Had Matter. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Closing in on that year. Is there an obvious way on Moto to tell which game of the match we are on? No, you actually can't. It doesn't say it anywhere on the screen. It's good quality software with good features. So after 12 months of subbing, you can get chat for life. Yeah, assuming you never say anything that gets you timed out. You keep your sword. No, it is not any of the numbers by the life total. These numbers are graveyard, exile, cards revealed, and replacement effects waiting to be used.
Good morning, Daddy.
Good morning, oldest son. Did you have a good sleep?
Yeah.
Yep. You've come to steal my water?
No, I just drink it.
Oh, you just drink it? It's not stealing?
Hey, Daddy, what Bobby? Hey, Daddy, what Bobby?
You want to watch more Barbie?
Yeah.
Alright, let's do it. I'll be right back, chat. This person's AFK anyways. Hey, Jug, thanks for the 12 months. I'll get you a sword to go with that shield.
Mommy, Chica, and well, sometimes you make Daddy at you.
Yep. It's very nice of you to share your dad with the internet. Yeah. We're going to keep this, bottom the Elvish Spirit Guide here. Lead on the Mimic. The next turn we'll get to Reshaper. Mimic will copy smack for 3. Following turn we'll end this one. Mimic will smack for 4. This will smack for 3. You're supposed to use your opponent's clock, something like that. Name Squid Bellies here. Yeah, mutate mechanics seems sweet. It's interesting that they have a mix of cards that, like, some that you want to mutate for their stat line and some that you want to mutate for the when this mutates effects. Make sure this bad Mama Jamma is uncounterable here. Yep, historic. All Magic Arena formats are $10 submissions for subscribers. As a heads up for people submitting historic stuff, while we're not going to stop playing historic altogether, we are going to scale back on the volume of historic decks I am playing for at least the first week after the set release. Standard is most exciting and interesting right after the set release, so that's why the next Hoaglandia Open is going to be standard. My plan is to scale back to doing one historic deck per day for the first week or so. And then, once we've played a little bit of the standard format, we can reflect and assess on how much we want to play. Well, poop. They did in fact give this stupid thing Death Touch. You are not wrong. Yeah, the Oven deck was sweet. That's one that we haven't touched since Maelstrom Pulse dropped. Build-around submissions are $25, because build-arounds take me extra time. Starting from scratch is not trivial. Not playing the Eldrazi Mimic out here because it's a 2-1 and would just die to this Plague Engineer. Thanks for the 15 months, low one. Welcome back. Is Historic starting anytime soon? I don't know. Another half hour, 45 minutes at longest. Depends on how this match goes. If we lose this match, I might call it a day on Legacy. We've mostly just been getting beat up with this deck. Doesn't seem particularly powerful. We are in the ephemerate bracket and we are losing, so yeah, I'm gonna be done. Let's start Historic now, actually. This deck felt like a miss. We just took our $10 and we set it on fire. Which, you know, we got paid more than that to play the deck, so we can call that a success. Like I said, part of the reason why I raised the price for Moto submissions is playing decks that just get toasted on Magic Online is expensive. Yeah, this deck was super underwhelming. It felt like Chalice of the Void was the only powerful thing this deck was doing, and when Chalice wasn't good or we didn't have it, our deck just did not feel like it was an appropriate power level for this format. I feel like if I was interested in playing a Chalice deck, I'd rather play a full-on Prison deck with like Ensnaring Bridge and Blood Moon, or I'd rather play like the Loam deck or something like that. But yeah, this archetype overall felt like a pretty big miss to me. All right, we are going to roll on into some Historic on Magic Arena for the rest of the Magic segment for today's stream. I'm going to hit a quick ad roll while I get everything set up and flipped over to the bat. We'll be back in just a little bit with some Jeskai Planeswalkers in Historic. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere. Would GTA change that a bit? No, I don't think so. I think it would have been good against the last deck specifically that we played against, but I think on average, even with some GTA, the deck still seems like it's a pretty low power level compared to everything else that's going on in Legacy.